So looking at the thing of, I mentioned before, sleep is a big thing in EMS. The margins thing, a lot of us struggle with lack of margin in our sleep area. How can that look in this step? Well, we have identified shortened margins in sleep. We've identified that maybe our goal, our legacy that we want from more sleep is maybe to be more empathetic, more focused, better people together. Well, now how do we do that? Well, some resources could be going to bed at a certain time for those of you that work on regular shifts. Maybe it's setting up a sleep environment that's conducive to getting good sleep. So setting the room cooler, having a cool blanket. For those of you that may be struggling with nightmares, reoccurring nightmares, and sleep is a big thing, maybe seeking help. I have a friend who is an amazing person. He is an Army Ranger. He was deployed 12 or 13 times to Iraq. He was a leader of his command unit. And during that time, his time with the Rangers, Hector fell into a time of struggling with reoccurring nightmares, struggling with depression. And instead of seeking help, Hector decided to hold it in and isolate. And as he began to isolate more and more, he found himself moving into post-traumatic stress disorder, which led him to standing on his front lawn in Minnesota with 2 guns drawn against 8 police officers. Now, Hector talks about that moment of realization as he was standing on his front lawn. He had been going through hallucinations. He starts talking about the moment of when he started to have reality sink in to see what he was actually doing. And suddenly Hector realized that he had went from the person that was always helping people, that hero person, that person that dads and moms looked to and said, "Why can't you be more like Hector?" to now he is an enemy of the state. He's an enemy that he once fought against. His time of depression and struggle sunk deeper as he sat in that jail cell and he started thinking about what his family would think of him. He started thinking of what his commanders in his unit would think of him. And at the lowest part of his life, when he said, "I wanted to end my life right there," something happened. A jailer came up to him and asked him a simple question. And her question was, "Sir, have you served before?" Hector says, "I was so embarrassed and so ashamed I didn't even want to answer." He mumbled with his head down, "Yes, ma'am, I've served as an Army Ranger." Her response could have been very, very different that day. But instead of putting shame on Hector for what he had done to her partners, her police officers, her response was, "Thank you for your service." Those words meant the world to him at that moment. Not that she so much thanked him, but that she didn't put shame on him. And I think of the work that those 8 police officers did on that scene. Hector, when he tells the story, he tells it that he should have been shot that day. There's no reason that he should be alive for how he was reacting to that situation. But thankfully, those officers had the focus and the calmness during that situation to realize that Hector was going through something that he could not see. And in doing so, they were really able to bring calm to that chaos. That jailer could have responded to Hector many different ways. But again, instead of pushing him down, putting shame on him, she chose to raise him up.